What's good, everybody? It is Thursday, June 22nd, 2023. This is your daily, and I mean daily, sports betting brand of record. We call it the Early Edge. We are powered, as always, by the almighty SportsLine, the best value in all of sports betting, and it's not close. I told you, we are actively working on content behind the screens. When everybody else is taking the summer off, we're giving you killer days. It's almost like we rinse and repeat. Great day after great day after great day. 10-2, which honestly, the X with the Angels is kind of they changed pitchers. All that good information yesterday, and they changed pitchers. So if you chose the pitching option, then you don't have that X. Now, we are everywhere, including CBS Sports HQ. Here is the schedule for today. Prop Stars. He's been everywhere on HQ, killing it. He sent me his picks last night. It's just check mark after check mark. Maestro at 1:30 p.m. Eastern time. Then at 6, getting you set for the evening. It's a light evening. M Squared, Maestro, and Prop Stars. So with all that being said, housekeeping is done. Let's bring in the stars of the show. You know them. You love them. I've got 3 of my absolute very best. Alabama is here. Daddy Brasco, that means, a little UFC and baseball. And the counselor. And counselor, real quick, if I know you like I think I know you, yesterday you do all that handicapping, and then they don't give you the pitchers that you deserve?
Yeah, it was really frustrating because the bet was against Michael Grove specifically. And about, 4 or 5 hours after we had our show, they went to a bullpen game. So most of your bets would have been void if you had taken that before the pitching change. Like DraftKings, for example, their rules are very clear. You hit the game and the listed pitcher doesn't pitch, that's going to be a void bet. To be honest with you, I still expected the Angels to win. They only got 2 hits, 0 runs for back-to-back games. But yeah, most of you didn't get that loss. It's an X on the screen, but I trust that the majority of you did not get that loss because your bet was void.
And do we know who else did not have an X on the screen? Oh, Nick. Nick from the chat hit his play on the show yesterday. That was amazing. Blue Jays, Marlins over 7 in like the 5th inning. No sweat. So, Nick, you got to be here today. This is day number 2 for you. What's the play? Put it into the chat. Let us know if anybody sees Nick in the chat. I'm busy. I'm trying to host this brand. All right, let's get into it. We got a lot to talk about today. It is time for Chiefs Dog of the Day. Kind of a light day, though. There are 5 day baseball games. There are 3 after 6:30 games tonight. So Red Sox, they've been on fire, plus 135. Giants, they've really been on fire, plus 105. And then the Mariners, plus 100 in Yankee Stadium. So, Counselor, let's start with you. Where are we going today?
Yeah, I actually have a first 5 play that implicates one of these games, so I'm not going to talk about that one. I will talk about the Red Sox plus 135. I just don't know what to expect from the Twins this year. I mean, they have Joe Ryan on the mound. I don't know what to expect from their bats, but Joe Ryan as well, I don't know what to expect from him because he hasn't been great lately. Really good to start off the season, but he's been touched up a bit as of the last few games. I like the Red Sox bats. It's a bullpen game for the Red Sox, or at least that's what it looks like, which, is kind of a finicky thing, which is why I'm not taking the Red Sox. But I think plus 135 is a pretty good price against an unpredictable Minnesota Twins team.
There's no question about that. And the Red Sox offense, all of a sudden, it's like they've woken up from a nap, if that's even the right word. By the way, in the chat, the crew is everywhere. AB, our 5-tool player. If you have any questions for him, he's been on fire with the College Baseball World Series. Put them into the chat. He will answer them in real time. So, Allie, Ice Queen, which is now on the shelf because the NHL is over. We're laser focused right here on the Dog of the Day. Where are you going, young lady?
Sia took the words right out of my mouth there. I think I'm also going to have to go with the Red Sox. Just looking at that, they kind of ended that 6-game win streak yesterday, but they only lost by 1 run. So I just think, again, someone like the Twins, and like Sia said, Joe Ryan really hasn't been that predictable. I don't have a lot of faith in him, especially considering how well this Red Sox lineup has been playing. So I think I'm going to have to go with the Red Sox there. I think that plus 135 is just kind of a pretty good deal.
I think it's a pretty good deal, too. Danny Brasco, do you think it's a pretty good deal?
I'm not going to make it unanimous because I'm looking at another game and I'm going against my heart and my own team. I feel like the Mariners are maybe the most likely underdog to hit today. They've got Brian Wu starting, and this is a young pitcher who looks really good. He's missing a lot of bats. And the Yankees offense, if it doesn't hit home runs, it sputters, especially without Aaron Judge in the lineup. So if Wu is striking out a lot of guys, it could look ugly. Now, on the other side, Domingo Germán been pitching pretty decent this season for the Yankees. He's got that big curveball. Mariners ranked 30th against the curveball. So it could be a low-scoring game. Maybe I look to the under in this one, but I do lean Mariners at plus 100, and I lean under in that game as well.
Is there anything more boring than a Thursday day baseball game under? I mean, I don't even like putting those words together in the same sentence.
Featuring the Mariners of all teams. It's just
Yeah. I don't know. I love unders. Some people say I'm crazy, I'm sick, but I love defense. I love in the NBA, if someone takes a charge or runs out a shot clock, I'm like, let's go. Another under. It's a thrill to me.
What are you talking about?
I have a passion for unders, Coach.
Oh my God.
Danny Brasco is, Coach, he's the Christian Laettner of the early edge.
We had come so far. We had come so far. Well, most of us, I say most of us now, we are everywhere. Now, apparently the streak ends here. But we are, I mean, Sia, Allie, I mean, we're going to be here.
Get breaking news.
Big news coming out of the NFL today.
Highlights and instant reactions.
The largest final round comeback in Ford championship history. We're down to the final four.
I just want to take time to analyze greatness.
Talk winners and losers with a guy who's already a big winner.
CBS Sports HQ. It's all sports all day long.
It's so crazy. I just got a text from one of the bosses, and it says, and I quote, "Does he not watch the show, Coach?" Oh. All right. Now, this is one of my favorite parts of the show. This is where we, if you're a fun bettor and you're allowed to have fun, we get to pick who goes yard. We call it Pick the Prop. What an amazing graphic. Snake, well done. Well done. Christian Walker plus 300. Matt Olson plus 325. And Bobby Witt Jr. of the Kansas City Royals plus 350. So, Danny Brasco, Mr. I Love Unders, Mr. This Could Be My Last Day on the Show. Where are you going today?
Hey, man, one more defense for the under. Look, over is normally the public bet. Unders are profitable. Life's too short to bet the under. Life's too short to lose money. So I'm taking unders all day. I don't care what anyone says. But out of these three guys, no unders here, all juicy plus money. And I like Christian Walker to have a chance to homer today, namely for the pitching matchup. He's taking on Irvin pitching for the Washington Nationals. Irvin ranks in the bottom 1% in whiff rate. No bats are missing on his pitches. And Walker with 15 homers on the season has as good a chance as any today to crack a barrel and go yard against Irvin.
He says crack a barrel and go yard. That's awesome. That is awesome. What's not awesome is how many people have not hit the like button. Come on. Don't make me say it today. Matt's taking care of it in the chat. Hit the like button, and then you just keep talking. Come on. All right. So we got one for Christian Walker plus 300. Alabama, where are we going?
I think I'm just going to have to go to Matt Olson here. I mean, he's homered in 3 of his last 5 games, and I think that kind of pitching matchup against Aaron Nola should be a little bit more in this favor of the Braves, but we'll talk more about that when you get to my play.
Oh, look at her teasing ahead on the show. Next level capping from Alabama. All right. So who haven't we done? Counselor's been sitting there going, oh, Walker, oh, Olson, oh, where are you going, Sia?
Well, I got to say, I'm just in shock that Danny Brasco picked somebody to have a home run today. I just figured he'd say maybe we'll get a couple base hits on the 7-game slate and we'll call it a day. But I'm going to reluctantly have to agree with him. I'm going to go with Christian Walker at plus 300. I do like the matchup. And for the record, he's been hitting home runs since Flag Day. We all remember Flag Day, right? June 14th. He's got 3 home runs since then. It's a nice matchup against Irvin. Plus 300, a decent number. Let's take that.
All right. Danny says, by the way, we came for Sia's extra golf picks. Let's be honest. We don't care why you came. We just care that you came to the Early Edge, your daily sports betting brand of record. And if you are not a SportsLine member, what are you doing? But I'm going to do you a solid right here and right now. Use the promo code TROPHY, and I'm going to give you $1 a month or for a month for $1. You know what I mean. Then after that, you're going to be playing with house money. I mean, if you started, 3 days ago, you'd be like 32-7 right now. That's how good we've been at SportsLine and the Early Edge. But you got to pay everybody. Here's another word, and our last one, I promise you, from one of our incredible partners.
And how about this? Get ready for nonstop action that will have you say, "You gotta be kidding!" Oh my, Canada! What a play and what a finish! That's some pretty good football, eh? He's gone all the way to the house. It's the Canadian Football League, Friday on CBS Sports Network.
All right, here's what we're going to do because it's time for our board for the day. If Nick does not show up in the next 2 minutes, we're going to pick somebody else to have a pick on the show today. A lot of you are putting good ones in there. All right, so Nick, you're on the clock, just like a bunch of basketball players. Is there something tonight? Is there a NBA draft tonight? Yes? No?
Yes, indeed.
Yes, there is. Okay. So there's also a little golf tournament we call the Travelers today. And there is afternoon tee times, which means we've got to get to it. So, Counselor, if you don't mind, could you please start us off, sir?
I'd be happy to. Yeah, let's go to golf. We've got a 12 o'clock Eastern Standard Time start. So we have approximately an hour and a half here for this 3-ball. This is over at Caesars and maybe some of your non-conventional books as well. If you have this guy, Joseph Bramlett, in a different matchup, please feel free to reach out to me on Twitter. But I've got Joseph Bramlett minus 120 over Peter Malnati and Nick Watney. And this is a classic case of a guy who's playing really good golf and who has been playing good golf and is just a better golfer versus Peter Malnati and Nick Watney. You can take Nick Watney out of this altogether. Even for 18 holes, I don't see him spiking against either of these two. And Peter Malnati, he hasn't been very good either. We're noticing with the morning, and this is what we thought on the early wedge too, this was going to be a ball striker's paradise. And in fact, it is. We've got guys like Keegan Bradley at the top of the leaderboard right now, Kevin Streelman, a guy named Lee Hodges, who somebody on the early wedge had as a first round leader at 110-1. So go check that out. Hopefully that's a sweat for us. But the bottom line is Bramlett is a ball striker. So we're going to take him over Malnati and Watney at minus 120. Again, that is up at Caesars among other places. And then we're going back to the first 5. Well, we're going to go with the Padres first 5 money line minus 135. This is another early-ish start, 3:45 Eastern Standard Time. It's Snell versus Wood. And what can I say about Snell other than the fact that he's been completely dominant over his last handful of games? His last 30 innings, which cover 5 games for the record, he's allowed only 14 hits, again, in 30 innings. He's only allowed 2 runs, again, in 30 innings. And he's got 45 strikeouts, again, in just 30 innings. Snell has been on fire. Padres need a win. They lost yesterday kind of with a controversial blocking the plate type call like we saw in that Texas White Sox game. I think they're going to be out for blood. And frankly, Alex Wood, he's been okay, but he's been touched up a little bit. Every other start lately, he hasn't been very good. The Pirates and the Marlins got to him, and the Padres hit lefties very well. So I really like the Padres here. First 5 money line, minus 135.
Winning Ugly says, I took all of Sia and Patrick's first-round leaders. Let's go. I'm really kicking myself, Sia, that I did not put Keegan Bradley somewhere on my board.
Yeah.
I mean, what are we doing? How did we miss that? This is his most important tournament of the year.
Well, so, Coach, sorry to interrupt. I think the reason we didn't hit it, and this goes to course history and whether we value course history maybe a little bit more than we should. I've been beginning to devalue it quite a bit this entire year, but his course history, believe it or not, I mean, as you probably know, it's not very good here, even though it's his home course. So I think that's why a lot of people were thrown off the scent when it comes to Keegan Bradley.
I was just more thinking the first round leader because motivation when you're coming off a major championship, the first round is usually kind of hard to get into. Not for him. And look, he's right at the top of the leaderboard at 600. He may not be there at the end of the day, but we can admit it when we made a miss, and I made a miss on this one. All right. See, as always, great job. Danny, I need you to sit there for a second. Allie, me and you, just look me right in the eyes. This is laser focus time. We're having great days, and I know you want that to continue. So as I look at my notes, Nick made the same play in the chat. So Nick, sorry, pal. When the crew has a pick, you can't have it. So Nick, I need another pick in the chat. Sorry, big boy. Allie, what do you like tonight?
Yep. So I'm going to go with the Braves money line, minus 115 here. I think bottom line, it's just really hard to pass on the Braves when they've won 7 straight games. Granted, they are going up against the Phillies, who ended their 6-game win streak on Tuesday. But I just think with Bryce Elder, he's on the road. He's 3-0 and he has a 1.76 ERA. And then when you have Aaron Nola, he's kind of having a tough season and he has a 5.34 ERA in his last 5 starts. I just think this is a really great price for the Braves on the money line. I don't really think you can go wrong with a minus 115, especially against the Braves, and they've done well against the Phillies so far. So I think that'll continue.
All right, I love it. And I love the number. I love getting that minus 115, not too juicy on a really good Braves team, but you got another good pitcher you're going up against. In the chat, I love the play from Glenn. Harmon plus 105 over Glover and Eric Van Droyen. Love Brian Harmon across the board this week. See, you like Brian Harmon this week? Yes?
I do, but that plus 105 against Glover has to include the tie because there's no way he'd only be a plus 105 favorite against Glover.
Van Royen. It's a 3-way.
Oh, it's okay. Yeah, I do like that. Yep.
Okay. All right. We now have arrived. Now, one of the things I love about this man is that he's always thinking 24/7. All kidding aside, he's always thinking about you, how to educate you, how to entertain you. And that's about what we're going to have this morning because this week is a big week. We're ramping it up for the summer, especially in the world of MLB. Danny Brasco, floor is yours.
Thank you, Coach. And big fight night card actually here down in Jacksonville. Exciting one. A lot of big names on this card. So, and oftentimes these fight night cards, not the big pay-per-views, but the fight night ones, really hone in on the matchups and find the best advantages. These are where I do best. So hopefully I can cash some more picks for you guys. And let's start in the main event. I'm going to use Ilia Topuria as a parlay piece. He's a big favorite taking on Josh Emmett, but there's a reason he's a big favorite. And it's because he's the next featherweight title contender. I mean, this guy is dynamic. Nasty grappling game, vicious ground and pound, and his boxing combinations on the feet are great because he mixes levels. He's known for his nasty body shots. And Josh Emmett, his opponent, is a great veteran featherweight, been around forever, crazy power in that overhand right, and a very good wrestling game. But man, he's been fighting nothing but the best as of late and has been taking so much damage in these fights. Now he takes on a savage in Ilia Topuria. He's going to be a great test for him, but it kind of does feel like a title gatekeeper, right? You get past Emmett, you get your shot. And I think that's what's going to happen here. Ilia Topuria to get a finish inside the distance is minus 250. So that's pretty telling. Odds makers think it's not going the whole way, and Topuria puts him away. I can see him dropping him with a body shot and doing so. I'm going to parlay him on the money line with rude boy Randy Brown, who has a really good matchup here. Randy Brown really took a risk in his last fight, taking on Jack Della Maddalena, guy surging up the welterweight division. He went into his hometown in Perth, Australia, and lost that fight. But he took a big risk. I think he's taking a much more winnable matchup here to get back on track against Wellington Turman. At range, he should piece him up. He's very, very good range striker. A lot of these guys have that big reach advantage, and they don't use it properly. Randy looks fast, and he looks like he's a mile away from you with that snapping jab, that front kick up the middle. Watch out for Randy to look really good at range and piece him up. I like Randy Brown to get this parlay done. Two-legger at minus 112 there. Let's go to my underdog of the week. I put this out on social, Coach, and I appreciate you sharing it. It's Jillian Robertson, who's now at plus 115, gave her out at plus 110, so even better odds now. And this is a really good grappling matchup against Tabitha Ricci. There's some bad blood in this fight. Robertson beat Piera Rodriguez in her last fight. That was Tabitha Ricci's teammate, and she was in her corner. And Ricci vowed to get revenge, but I don't think she's getting it here. Robertson's been getting better and better. She's only 28 years old and has a plethora of really high-level experience. In a grappling matchup, I think she's tougher, she's grittier, and she can beat Ricci to the next position. And on the feet, I favor her boxing and her forward movement to get it done. I think Robertson pulls it off as an underdog this weekend. And finally, let's end with a heavyweight banger. Justin Tafa taking on Austin Lane. Austin Lane, former NFL player. And a lot of time we see these guys be very explosive and athletic when they come into the MMA, but they lack a lot of MMA skills that these other guys have been building for their entire lives as lifelong kickboxers and Muay Thai artists. And I think that's what's going to happen here to Austin Lane, who's 6'6" with an 80-inch reach, but that height might get him caught with his chin way up in the air against a power puncher like Justin Tafa. I think it could take only one clean counter right hand from Tafa to put him away, and that's what I'm expecting. So I'm going to take Tafa to knock out Austin Lane, and there's some UFC picks for this Saturday.
And I ask you all at home with all the seriousness in the world, do you want to do that work? I didn't think so. Now, sometimes you guys take it a little bit too far. Sometimes you take me word for word when I say everybody has equal say on the show, because Daniel in the chat says Allie can take Nick's pick, even though he said it first. We're not calling for shotgun in the car on the way to the store. We are the experts on this show, and you get to participate. So if Allie has a pick, it's Allie's pick.
I did post it at midnight as well, so.
She did post it at midnight as well.
Now who said it first?
Yeah. Now all I'm thinking is shotgun.
Well, what were the rules? Just real quick, were the rules like when you got out of the house and when the car was in like sight distance, or like what's the rule on calling it?
Within sight.
Within sight, and both of your feet had to be outside the house.
Oh, interesting. I like that.
Yeah, we had four kids in our house.
Wow. So these rules are highly, highly debated and must be upheld.
100%. 100%. So Daniel, I apologize, but yes, this is Allie's official pick. Nick, I know I found you on social media, or you found us. I'll still give you another 30 seconds, or I'm going to pick something else, and we'll find something else. All right.
I think he said something in there.
Did he say? I haven't seen him in the chat at all. I like D-backs, moneyline juicy, but worth it for the Braves team total. You know what? We're on the Braves, so let's stay with that game. The official pick, Braves team total over 4. Now, remember the rules. If you're brand new to the brand, if Nick hits 3 days in a row, then he gets to come on the show on camera. And maybe we find the next AMAGs or the next buckets. You never know. This could be your shot. But you have to watch live. Can't be on demand. All right. Good luck, Nick. Grab your paper. Grab your pencil. Here is the recap, courtesy of the Snake, always on the ones and the twos. The counselor, Padres first 5 money line minus 135. Remember, only 8 games today. 5 of them are prior to 6:30 p.m. Eastern time. Then a 3-ball starts in just over an hour. Joseph Bramlett minus 120 over Peter Malnati and Nick Watney. Then Allie is all over the Braves money line, minus 115. Nick Synergy, Braves team total over 4. Then Danny Brasco. This is UFC Fight Night on Saturday. Don't forget, on Friday, we'll have PFL 6 picks. I'll be doing all the betting once again with my man Ian Parker. So we're going to go Jillian Robertson, money line. Justin Tava by KO or TKO. Bring that number down, minus 115. Then a little parlay. Prayo Brown, put them together, minus 112. Do not forget, we have 2 shows every single weekday. Early Edge and 5 at 4 p.m. Eastern time. Amazing Grace and the crew over there. They will be on live again today. Do not miss that show. But as always, pay it forward. Bring everybody to the party. Let's build this thing so when we get to football, the 1st of September, we're ready to go. So with all that being said, there's only one thing left to do. And I believe you all know what that is. You've got your marching orders. Let's take all of these tickets straight to the pay window. For my entire crew, Lobo, Alabama, Danny Brasco, the council, the Snake, even Nick, honorary member of the crew. I'm simply the coach trying to keep this train on said track. We grind for you so we can win with you. It's what we're all about right here at the Early Edge. Good luck.